The Denver Nuggets get their first win of the season. It didn't go as according to plan, but all hail Jokic. Best player in the world, back-to-back 40-point games, gets it done on the road versus another elite defensive center. The Denver Nuggets, they got a lot of things to figure out, but one thing they have that nobody else has is the best player in the world. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all, we got to get into it. Denver Nuggets basketball, we back. Let's get it, y'all. Let's go. The Denver Nuggets get a victory versus the Toronto Raptors in a game that looked like it was about to be yet another loss this season. But the Denver Nuggets starters, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Christian Brown, they put their team on the back, and they got the job done in a great victory. This has been just the season that we're in. The Denver Nuggets, they get a 127-125 win. RJ Barrett tries to do a pull-up 32-point three-pointer to win the game with no time on the clock, but the Nuggets are able to pull out the victory. And y'all, there are certainly things to be concerned with, but primarily, more than anything else, the Denver Nuggets were able to get the job done because they have the best player in the world, and they're just simply able to reach a status and reach a place in their play. And Jokic is able to reach his place in his play. He's able to do things nobody else is able to do. He's able to control the game. He's able to score, able to play, make, able to rebound. He's just able to do things that nobody else in the league can hold a candle to, and that is the difference. That's the difference between a win and winning a loss tonight. Nikola Jokic, 44 minutes played, game 3 of the year, already 44 minutes played in the game in Toronto, 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was 18 of 27 from the field. Yet another very efficient game from Nikola Jokic, and the way that he started this year off, man, again, you know, they're going to have to obviously be winning games to get him his 4th MVP, but just the way things are looking now, there's just quite simply not a better player and more valuable player in the league. Y'all, through 3 games, he's averaging 32.3, 10.3, 7 assists on 57.6% from the field, 55% from 3, just 71% from the free throw line. Hate that. 38.7 minutes a game. He has a 67.2% true shooting. A 67 true shooting on 32 a game, and he is still the best playmaker in the world. The defense is kind of guarding him differently because of the way the lineups are being constructed. But y'all, Jokic today, 18 to 27, but he was 3 of 5. 3 of 5 from 3 today. Jokic had just been able to turn up his three-point volume this year. The Denver Nuggets knew they were not going to have the offensive team that they once had because the three-point shooting isn't going to be there with no KCP. But the big news is that Jokic has been able to really do some special things. And y'all, 1 of 3 on night 1, 7 of 12 from 3 on night 2. And then you get this game, and Jokic is going 3 of 5 from 3. So he's been incredible. He's been amazing. He's been the best player in the world. I think the thing that is obviously most frustrating about all that is just you don't want Joker having to do this early. But I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. Like, the Nuggets are in a situation now where they're just needing help from players that are not playing up to their level. They're not meeting the expectation that's been set for them, and that's causing a lot of issues for this team. And I'm going to get to the bench in a minute, but I'm going to clear out the starters real quick. I think there were some good performances today from the starter. I think Jamal Murray closed the game out well. But, again, just for where the team is and for what they need, they're just going to need a little bit more across the board. If you look at the numbers for the starters, Jokic got 40, 10, and 4. Aaron Gordon tonight, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. Really good game from AG. He was 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, which is great for Aaron Gordon, a corner 3 and a wing 3, left corner 3, and then a right wing 3 in the game. AG gets a block, gets 2 steals. He was a plus 11. He had 5 turnovers, was doing a lot with the ball. He played really good defense versus Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, but they both had good games. Scotty Barnes today, 21 points, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. He was 9 and 19 from the field, -2 in this game. RJ Barrett, first game back, he was 9 of 21 for 20 points, -3. So not efficient games for them, but I still think that Scotty and RJ play well. But again, Aaron Gordon, man, just putting up some really good numbers, 16, 11, and 8. Played 42 minutes. Jamal Murray, 40 minutes played, 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Now, Jamal, those numbers are really good. James Harden kind of numbers. That means you get the job done. But Jamal was 6 of 20 from the field, y'all. Jamal shot 30% from the field and 0 of 2 from 3. Jamal Murray shot 30% from the field and 0 of 2 from 3. That is horrific. And it is unacceptable that you're playing versus the Toronto Raptors, even though Davion Mitchell is a really good defender. Ochai Agbaji is a really good defender. They have a good defensive unit. That's not good enough, man. And Jamal, if he shoots the ball better, if he plays better, then they're not in that situation where they're struggling down the stretch like that. And again, it's not just Jamal, but again, you're the second highest paid player on the team. You're the second best player on the team. And again, I've been big upping Jamal. Jamal's a really good player. He has some really good moments. But again, if your second best player is going to give you a 6 of 20 performance on the road, so you're saying that my best player is getting 18 of 27, 40 points. My second best player is giving me 6 of 20 from the field. Everybody else in the starters shot at least 50% from the field. Michael Porter shot 6 of 12. Christian Brown shot 6 of 11. Aaron Gordon shot 4 of 8. Nikola Jokic shot 18 of 27. The only person that didn't was Jamal Murray, and it was 30% from the field. That is unconscionable. It's unconscionable, and it's unacceptable for a player of that status, that is that good, to be having that kind of performance, 30% from the field. He has to be better. I expect better tomorrow. Christian Brown, I would dare say, I texted a couple people this. I think Christian Brown has made the argument he's been the best guard to start the year for the Nuggets. Christian Brown had 40 minutes played, 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He was 6 of 11 from the field, y'all. He was 1 of 4 from 3, but he was 4 of 4 from the free throw line, had a block, had a steal. He had just 1 turnover, and he was a +8 in his minutes. Jokic, Gordon, Murray, and Brown were all in the plus tonight. Now, they don't stagger. They play together for the most part. AG ended up having to stagger today. We'll get to that in a minute. But for the most part, man, Christian Brown's been really good this year. Everybody was kind of wondering what they were going to look like and how good they were going to be. But he played really good today. Christian Brown was excellent. He's been excellent. He was excellent last game versus the Clippers. He was really good in spots versus the Thunder. Overall, Christian Brown has proven I'm a legitimate fifth starter in this league. He needs to work on the shooting. That has to continue to get better. 1 of 4, you want to see better than that. But overall, man, Christian Brown, I would say, has been doing his job. He's defending at a high level. He's making up for a lot of the deficiencies the Nuggets have behind the scene, behind the play. But, man, they're just going to have to continue to figure out some of this lineup stuff with him. Michael Porter Jr., 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists, 39 minutes played. He is the chief stagger player now with the Nuggets because they got to find a way to make it work. He was 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 1 block. He was a -10. Again, he was the stagger player. Ultimately, he played well with the starters. But, again, you just want to see a little bit better from Porter. He needs to hit those shots, but 13, 9, and 2. Again, y'all, the highest paid players on the team, I would say AG, Jokic doing their job, but Murray, 6 of 20, got to be better. Porter, over the course of the season, he needs to be better. But, y'all, let's just get straight to the bench. Julian Strawther, good game offensively. 22 minutes played, 9 points, 2 rebounds. 22 minutes played, 9 points, 2 rebounds. 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He was a +1. I can get with that. I can live with that. Christian and Julian, they're doing a good job at those 2 spots. Now, Julian got burnt today defensively. Burnt. Off ball, terrible. Back cuts, wasn't paying attention. Russ and Julian at the top of the key, I think, in multiple times this game, Basically, the Raptors were run a split action at the very top to try to see if they can get a switch because Russ is the primary POA defender with the bench or when Christian is out. And then Russ wouldn't go with it or Christian wouldn't go with it, and they would just get live, easy runs to the rim off those actions. And so Julian has to get better at that, man. He's going to be tasked with a lot this year, and his defense has to be better than what it is. But again, good offensive game. I think he's going to continue to improve. So don't hear me I'm not being super hard on him. I'm just noting the defensive mistakes he made today. But offensively, he is going to be their fifth best offensive player, arguably. If not, I mean, honestly, like he could surpass like AG maybe at some point. But the role, obviously, he's going to have to a lot more and make his shots at a high level. But a +1 today. He was 2 of 2 for the 3-point line, and you like to see that from him. Russell Westbrook. 18 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. He was 3 of 7 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, had a steal. Russ had some really good moments today. He was a -1 overall. He had some really good moments where he played really well, had some really bad defensive moments. He had 3 of the worst defensive moments on the team today that ended up costing them. Sometimes he just gets he had a turnover. So in the fourth quarter, Russ had a turnover. Basically where he jumped in the air and threw the ball to nobody. And then right before that, he had a bad switch that led right to a dunk. Russ has like some really good moments, but the thing about Russ is when he has his good moments, they're great, but I'm saying overall, they have not overtaken the mistakes he's made and the lack of offensive production and the lack of efficiency in offensive production. But Malone ran him, I would think, 2 minutes too long. And, I said that Christian Brown in the fourth quarter finally was getting back in the game. And, my colleague Matt Moore was like, well, he's on pace. He's already played 35 minutes. I said, well, that's cool. But Russ, he's made too many mistakes defensively. Like, you can't have him out there anymore. And he ended up, like, kind of costing them one more play. But Russ overall, I would say, had a decent impact today. But the whole idea with Russ is to be able to make the bench work. And the bench is horrible. It's really bad. Russ is doing well in the stagger minutes. Russ got Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon next to him in that second stint that he had, which made it better, and I can get with that. Julian Strawther's out there with him and Peyton Watson. But in those configurations, starter heavy, it's okay. But in the configurations they need, which is primarily bench, it's been bad, like worse than the league bad. Peyton Watson today has not found his footing so far this year. 6 points in 15 minutes, 2 rebounds and 2 assists, just 1 of 5 from the field. 4-4 from the free throw line, so you love that. 1 block, had a really nice block in an ISO situation, I think versus RJ or Scotty, one of them. He was a -7 in its minutes. Dario Saric, I'm trying. I'm really gonna try not to harp. I'm truly gonna try not to harp. But he is, bar none, the worst signing of any contender so far in a key position. And the reason I say that is because Dario today, in the only stint he played 5 minutes. 5. Dario Saric, and you can find this on my Twitter, he basically had a stretch of basketball where Saric missed a layup, like under the basket. He had a horrible turnover trying to do a pass based on a slip to the basket that led to a turnover. Saric then bricked another layup. Saric then was getting beat defensively, and he wasn't rebounding. In the 5 minutes that he played, he made at least, I'm not kidding, he made at least 6 mental errors or negative plays for the Denver Nuggets. Mental errors to negative plays. And I know that because he had 1 rebound and 1 assist, 0 of 3 from the field, and he was a -9 with 2 turnovers versus the Toronto Raptors. He is literally the definition of unplayable. And how I know the coaching staff know he's unplayable. Michael Malone, 3rd game of the year. Michael Malone had to go to Aaron Gordon as the backup center in the second half in the 3rd game of the season. because of how bad Dario Saric is. That is inexcusable. And ultimately, this comes down directly to the doorstep and to the table of Calvin Booth. You gave him 2 years with the player option on the second year. $5.2 million in the most money you could have offered to any player on the market. $5.2 million on your only taxpayer MLE available. And you gave this non-playing, has no viability for a playoff rotation. No viability right now for a regular season rotation. He's the 6th highest paid player on the roster. And he is literally a net, absolute, horrific negative that has no actual upside on this roster. He is not a scorer, not a post scorer, not a grit enough. He doesn't even have enough gravity to utilize his passing. And he's a horrific defender versus bigs, wings, and guards. He doesn't do anything. So that is the problem, is your bench is so horrible that your starters had to play in the third regular season game of the year. 44 minutes for Joker, 42 minutes for AG, who had to play backup 5 because Saric couldn't play, and 40 minutes for Jamal Murray, 40 minutes for Christian Brown, and 39 minutes for Michael Porter on the first night of a back-to-back. It's too early in the year for the team to be in this situation. That is the issue. Is that we are 3 games into the year and we're already making major adjustments with the bench to compensate, not for injuries, but for a lack of ability. Zeke Naji has to play tomorrow. That's where I'm at, is Zeke Naji, we're going to play versus the Nets team with an athletic front court. They're going to have Cam Thomas. They're going to have Dennis Schroeder. Saric can't play in that kind of game. He doesn't have any speed. And Russell Westbrook, like I said, his only viability with this team has been with the starters, because with the bench unit, he's been like literally unplayable. With the starters, it's passable. With the starters, you can even have good minutes. But you can't have him next to Dario Saric, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, and then Mike. Because that bench unit, even with Mike trying to help it, they're better than when they have Murray next to it. But literally, it's like it's unplayable. They have no asset because Peyton Watson has no confidence in his offensive game right now. Michael is struggling as a shooter. And so basically you're saying, Mike, make up for Russ's mistakes and be Russ's outlet. Julian Strawther, be Russ's outlet. And I'm telling y'all, it's causing more issues to the team. So they're just going to have to figure out this bench unit, and tomorrow is another way. It's another opportunity to try to see if you can get Zeke Naji minutes and have him play well. I mean, that's just where they are. Y'all know that I don't love that, but that's just what it is. And I'm telling you all this because I'm watching Jokic in the 3rd game of the year play 44 minutes. The best player in the world has to play 44 minutes in this game because they can't trust anyone else to be able to do it. And so I don't know. Like that the team has some decisions to make. They're going to have to figure out if they can trust the bench unit. Jamal Murray can't shoot 6 of 20 from the field. Like, there are several things that have to change. Michael Porter Jr. needs to shoot better. I mean, it has been like mayhem with the way this team is situated right now. And they're 1-2. They get a win. They can go get a win tomorrow versus the Nets. So it's not doom and gloom for the rest of the season. I still think they win 50-plus games. The problem is the process. They don't look like they have the same level of fight and continuity. And what it looks like to me is that the starters, they're like doing their job, but they're like getting no assistance and no help from the bench. And so then it's like making their life just that much harder. And so then they're just feeling like, I don't know, this tremendous amount of pressure, and the juice that you want to see from them isn't always there yet. Now, again, I think some of that is just like early season stuff. But they're going to have to figure out this bench unit because the bench unit is literally like it's hurting the team and it's hurting the starters. Like, you can't be a -9 in the first stint. Over the course of a game, yeah, it can be bad. But that's like really bad. A -9 over the course of a game. You can't be a -9 in the first stint of the non-Jokic minutes. Not in this era. And you signed Dario, so you have to get better. You signed Russ, they have to get better. But what I'm telling you is I don't think it gets better with those two, with the mostly bench units. They're going to have to replace Dario Saric. And the fact that he got a player option is just, it's so unbelievable to me. I want to also add this up. I thought about this earlier, y'all. Since Calvin Booth got KCP and Bruce Brown, he had to let go of Bruce Brown. KCP is now gone. Jeff Green is gone. But he signed Reggie Jackson to a 2-year with a player option. And then they had to dump 3 second-round picks in order to make it happen. You draft Hunter Tyson. You draft Jalen Pickett. And then now you sign Dario Saric, and then you give him a player option on this deal. So they give him a player option to Russ. They give him a player option to Sarge. Now you sign Zeke Naji and you give him a player option on the 4th year. Booth is just handing out this money. And I'm like, again, I can at least understand conceptually the Zeke contract. You need a young player you can develop. But on the other end of this, like, he has to play, but he's not playing well because you also signed another big that you're playing over him. But that big is literally the worst big I've ever seen play in the Jokic era behind Jokic. They have a lot to figure out, and it could get dark because of how bad that second unit is. But that their starters are going to have to really they're going to have to play really well. They're getting paid the money to play really well. They played well today. Again, +9 for Jokic, +11 for Gordon, +8 for Murray, +8 for Christian Brown, -10 for Porter because he was staggering. But Murray, tomorrow, please, 10-18 performance, please, something like that. It just can't be 6 of 20. I mean, it's incalculable for your second best player to be putting up numbers like that, y'all. But y'all, let me know what you think. How are you feeling about things? How do you feel about the way Jokic just started his year? Another MVP run. Is this the Kobe 2005, 2006 season for Jokic where he just goes crazy all year? Jamal Murray, is he going to pick it up? Michael Porter Jr., does he find his shooting? How good has Christian Brown been for you? How do the Denver Nuggets figure out their bench? Y'all, by the way, got a super chat. Hurricane T-Bag. Would you rather watch Sarge play basketball or watch your parents for care? Oh, I mean, my parents, easy. I would much rather take care of my family. That's easy for me, Hurricane T-Bag. But Sarge is, again, I really try not to be super hard on him, but he's been really bad. He's been really bad. But y'all know what time it is, y'all. Swipa gang. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what your comments in the comment section. What do you think? How do you fix the start to the Denver Nuggets season? Y'all know what time it is. I'll see y'all on the other side.